I think there's two types of people. One person who just pushes it too far and red lines over and over and over and over again, but probably gets way further than the type 2 person who is always testing the ice and saying, I'll slow down, I'll slow down, I'll slow down, and they never really get to red line. I'm willing to bet that if the first person can survive long enough, they're just going to get way ahead of the second person.
There's a famous quote, only those willing to go too far will ever know how far one can go. The person I heard that from did a commercial where they tried to jump in front of a train and do their own stunts and was killed. So he was reckless. He was reckless. Stay centered, stay humble, and yeah, push it, baby, but do not be reckless.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2091, can you maximize your potential without burnout? I was thinking today, because you and I are very different in this in many ways, but similar in other ways. I feel like I am more proactive with knowing burnout is coming. At least I used to be. I'm not saying that anymore. Sure. And I would be the type of person that would say, I got to slow down because I can tell that if I keep going at the rate I'm going at, things are going to crash and burn.
You underestimated yourself.
I probably did. Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Well, but I overestimated myself.
I think that is the question, is what is the sweet spot for each and every one of us? Because if you're only given 50% all the time, okay, you're probably not going to get as far as you want. But if you're giving 120% and then you have to take a week off every 2 months, that's probably not ideal either. So how do we figure out what the optimal place is for each of us?
Drive to 5, baby.
How do we figure that out, sir? How do we figure out that?
One thing was read the obvious signs. Monday of this week, the 2nd, I was feeling not so good. When I woke up,
yeah,
I was like, oh no. And Emilia and I, in the center of our table, our kitchen table, we have what we call a care package. And it has everything you could possibly need if or when you may or may not be getting ill. Not everything, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I have a certain potion, all the stuff that I made, and I immediately take corrective action. As a podcaster, trainer, coach, you need your voice. And when your voice starts to go, you get a sore throat. It's, okay, I'm not getting good enough sleep. I'm spreading it too thin. I need to hydrate a little better. I got to get this going. So you have to read the obvious signs. And you have to learn how to anticipate when the engine is going to blow. I've been saying to you a lot lately, too much. Every time we get on a meeting, I say,
for sure. Same.
Because I know that I can't sustain this yet. But if you pull back too quick, you won't get to the next level and learn how to sustain the next level. So when I say too much, I don't mean, this is what I'm really saying to Kevin when I say too much. Because every time for the last week that we've gotten into a meeting together, I basically said too much. Just, here's what I'm actually saying. We've reached a new level, and I'm proud of us. It's not sustainable yet, and I can't add more right now. I have to learn how to play at this level before we get to the next level. So I always think of, you go to the next level and then you ratchet it in, and then you go to the next level and then you ratchet it in, and then you go to the next level and you ratchet it in. If you go next level, next level, next level, and you don't give enough time to ratchet it in, you're going to collapse. The whole Jenga tower is going to fall, and you're going to burn out, and then you're basically going to waste 3 days or a week or whatever it is. I mean, you got shingles at the beginning of 2024.
I don't even remember.
It was because we were redlining too much.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. It seems like, doesn't it seem like that was so long ago?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that long ago.
No, it was this time last year.
I'm having the pings now because it's harder for me to fall asleep. And again, this has just come with time and awareness. It's harder for me to fall asleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I can't fall back asleep. That usually is directly connected to the amount of stress I'm
Same. I
going through.
Sent you something at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I was probably up. I just never, obviously my phone is not in the bedroom, but there's a chance I was up just lying in bed like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Same. That's definitely an indicator.
What end would you I know what end you'd rather be on.
Mm-hmm.
What end do you think is best for most people? underdoing it? Or
No,
overdoing
over
it?
as long as you're not reckless. So over, Emilia and I talk about this a lot. We're both over. We both overestimate what we are capable of. In the short term. In the long term, I don't think so. In the short term. And in the past, you used to underestimate what you were capable of. I don't think 8 years ago, Kev would have imagined you being this version of you. And I always knew that you were capable of this. And that's kind of neuroplasticity and the subconscious and unconscious mind and personal development and the 1% improvement over time and how that all works. So human beings are capable of so much more than we can possibly fucking fathom. The problem is, in the short term, we're actually capable of very little. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you and I wanted to, okay, I showed you some photos of these people, these rock climbers hanging off cliffs with tents, and no. If you and I wanted to start tomorrow, we could go and become professional cliff climbers. We could. That's a mathematically doable thing. We're a little old, so we might not be the best in the world because of a lot of neurological reasons and our health and stuff. But we could be world class in 10, 20, 30 years, for sure. We're not going to do that, but we would be fucking terrible tomorrow. Like, bad. You and I would be atrociously bad tomorrow. And I think that's one of the things that really bothers me. I think everyone's under in the short term. Everyone's under in the long term. In the short term, I think they're probably accurate. Like, tomorrow, if we went and rock climbed, you're going to suck. So you're accurate, but you're very inaccurate with what you could do long term. And one of my favorite quotes of any book of all time, The Art of Impossible by Stephen Collar, we interviewed him. Very little is actually impossible given a decade.
Do you think, okay, why do you think most people have such a bad relationship with being burnt out or achieving burnout or whatever it is? Do you think it's because they're doing stuff that they don't like doing?
That's part of it, for sure. It's a huge part of it.
What percentage?
I think, dude, a lot of it is just they don't have their pillars dialed in. Seriously. Oh, and again, how am I supposed to explain this without... Yeah, I guess... So... My sleep score 2 days ago, I shared on social media, and someone reached out. My average resting heart rate during sleep was 39 beats per minute, which basically means I was near death. I'm joking. But athletes have really good cardiovascular health. I have very good cardiovascular health. We did a 45-minute adventure race earlier. I think it was like 3 miles, and I was just, it's 82 degrees, and I was just hammering hill sprints. But I've also worked out every day for 1,192 days. And I've always been pretty good at cardio stuff. At the end of the day, I'm not a marathon runner or anything, but my point is what people don't really know is all the other stuff I'm doing to be able to do that. Like, there's nothing that goes in my body that isn't calculated, ever. I eat corn dogs and I do all kinds of stuff. They're vegan corn dogs. Like, these are really, the micros and macros on these things are fucking amazing. So everything's by design. And when you see someone who doesn't burn out, because people think, like, how the fuck does this dude not burn out? I know they think that. My clients have asked. It's my sleep, hydration, nutrition, training, mobility, breath work, and supplementation. I joke and I say I can't do mobility. I still do mobility more than most people. So at the end of the day, right now I'm resourcing with coconut water. Right now. During this set, to make sure that I'm good for tonight. Like, I'm optimizing for 2 coaching sessions later that I need to be on point for. So 24/7, 365, I'm always optimizing for longevity and for peak performance. And all of that is everything that I'm doing and not doing. I used to say in the gym is just the during. If you see us crushing it in the gym, Kevin and I, what you're not seeing is everything before, everything the night before, everything the day before, everything the week before, everything the year before, everything the decade before to lead up to that one workout. It's not like one workout. It's an accumulated compound effect of that.
And most of the other stuff's harder.
Agreed.
Yeah,
it's harder to stick with. It's boring.
We were talking about dieting yesterday, and we're doing the 10 pound in 10 week challenge. Again, whatever pound in 10 weeks you want. I'm aiming for 5 to 6 or 7. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not. There's no way I'm going to get 10. But it's just, that is the hard part. The going to the gym, it sucks, and my workouts suck, and I don't want to go. But it's the other 19 hours or however many hours I'm up, depending on the day. That's like the really hard thing. Okay. Make that land for somebody, though, because that seems extremely unfathomable.
Are you under or are you over? I think most people underestimate what they're capable of long term and are on the wrong end of this.
And they overestimate what they're capable of in the short run and underestimate what they're capable of.
Which is why they're burning out. That's a good way to, and I would ask you too, because you've been on both ends. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of the things you say are more valuable.
I have my R&R dialed in. That's why I don't burn out. So Alan and I were going to meet this morning and something came up and Alan said, hey, I got to push it. And I was like, I can't do this other time because I have a call that's going to run into that. And honestly, I'm burning out pretty bad. Mm-hmm. I'm running on like 3 days of 60 sleep scores, like not good.
Yeah.
And really dieting hard. And I've weight trained every day. Not weight trained, but I'm 94% this quarter.
Nice.
This year, I've gone to the gym 94% this quarter.
Nice.
This quarter of the time. And like, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that's catching up. I've been fucking up mobility. I haven't been doing mobility at all. I need to figure that out.
94%.
But it's good. Alan said, why do you want to measure that? And I was like, I need to know how often I'm going to the gym. Like I just need to know. It helps me. But I'm trying to be proactive of like, could I do, if you said, hey man, the only time I have from my schedule currently is 8 to 9 tonight. Of course I could do it. I just don't think it's optimal based on the way I'm feeling. But again, that's also like, not everybody gets that opportunity, right? Not everybody can say, well, I'm just going to move my calendar around. So I think this is the weird thing where I think segments of personal development cross into each other or cross over. This is one of the reasons boundaries are so important. If you're burnt out, you have to set boundaries around doing the shit that you don't want to do, but you have the option not to do. Oh, you have a family reunion that you don't want to go to because your family fucking stresses you out and drains you. Don't go.
Yeah.
Set a boundary and don't go. What you're doing at your 9 to 5, I can't help you with that. And that is what it is. You got to pay the bills, right? But I think I am just somebody who's very proactive with it. I think that comes naturally to me is I'll do the all-out sprint, but I know that there's like a bench in X amount of feet where I'll be able to sit down and catch my breath. Yeah. That's something I've had. When I used to travel for work, it was literally an all-out sprint for 5 days, 6 days, and then I would get 1 day of rest. And that 1 day of rest, I did nothing. I ordered pizza every single time. I ordered pizza. I watched UFC or I watched movies, and then I prepared for Sunday to leave again. That was it, pretty much. For years. For years I did that.
Now you're thinking more like a marathoner.
Trying.
Yeah. There's a bunch of metaphors. It's like the NASCAR, you got to get the pit stop. The longer you're at the pit stop, the more time. Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes. All right, picture a NASCAR race, if you've ever seen one, Formula One, whatever. When they pull over to redo the tires or whatever they do, I don't know, man.
Nothing like using an analogy you can't explain.
You know it. I always used to think when I was a kid, we used to play, you got this, Gran Turismo.
Ooh,
let's play Gran Turismo.
Great game.
Yeah, it was fire. And whenever I would watch races, it wasn't often, but I would think, what is the optimal amount of time that you do the pit stop to where that doesn't fuck up the race? And I think that's a good metaphor for productivity. I never R&R to R&R. I R&R out of a necessity. You recharge your iPhone to make sure that it functions the next day. To me, it's about, and again, I know that this isn't normal, but if you do start thinking this way, your life will be much better, statistically. When you R&R, When I buy a movie that I really want to see, that's higher quality R&R. So that I can crush it more tomorrow. I'll be more fulfilled. So I'm thinking about filling my cup. There's certain things that fill your cup, and there's certain things that fill your cup quicker. Getting great sleep. Whatever your core values are. For me, film and food. Like, I will not eat the same shit every day. I can't stand it. I'm always thinking about how do I recharge my batteries faster, more effectively, more efficiently, so that I can crush it more tomorrow. Now, here's the difference in the metaphor. Your battery gets bigger. Yeah. I would love to see Kevin now versus Kevin 8 years ago. It would be ridiculous, dude. You'd be running circles around that fucking guy.
For sure.
And you'd R&R smarter. You'd work smarter. You'd work harder. I remember you used to shut down in the middle of a conversation. Brain was done. Now you can go for fucking 9 hours straight.
Question.
Easily.
When you look at your calendar on Sunday, what do you think? Are you thinking like, okay, I'm going to maximize my potential here? Are you thinking I got to survive? What are you thinking?
It depends. That's great. Great question. I appreciate it. Every Sunday I look at my calendar and I go, there's one of three reactions. One is going to be, I got to fill that fucker. Like, this is, what are we doing here? Right? That's very rare these days, luckily. The second one is, okay. Yeah, pretty good. And then the third one is, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of conversations with you, dude.
I tell Emilia too, because we talk every Sunday about our calendar, and it's part of our check-in. I'm fucked. And when I say that, she knows, okay, I'm going to have to pick up all the fucking pieces this week.
Do you do anything on Sunday to prepare for that? Or is that just... See, for me, this is the thing. For you, there is no finish line.
No.
Really. For me, there is...
Saturday night is the finish line. Saturday night is what we call our fuck-off night.
Yeah,
and it's okay. So if I get to Saturday night alive and, like, still good... Not
so
sick,
far, so
not
ill.
Good. Yeah, not so far. Well, I meant not ill, not sick. The goal in life is to be the healthiest version of yourself and to get sick the least amount of time. I went 9 years without getting sick, and then I got sick twice in 2024. I was like, fuck, I got to change my life. I was aging terribly. But when I'm trying to get to Saturday night without getting sick, and without hurting my family, like, get to Saturday night as effectively as possible without getting sick and while building my health, wealth, and love, while building my relationship, building the business, building the family. And make sure Emilia doesn't have to take care of everything. Because there's something called fair play. So sometimes she's 80% and I'm 20%. Next Level Live is a good example of that. She takes 80% of the responsibilities and I suck. And then other times it's the opposite and I'm doing more. So I'm always balancing that. Who's doing more? And we have a relationship where there's a book called 80-80 where both partners are trying to do more for the other partner than the other person. We're like competing to see who can be the better partner. It's much better than what I've done in the past. Not what I've done, but what I've had. It's not good. It doesn't work well when only one partner's competing for that.
I'll give 100.
Yeah.
You give 0.
You kick. I've been there, man.
This'll work.
It lasted for too long. But back to what you were going to say.
What was I going to say? For me, I think it's more, I see my calendar and then it's like, okay, I have to survive until Saturday. And then I try anywhere I can find like a little extra pocket. It's not really, because it's not like a pocket in the day. I don't know if I have a good example. I'm trying to get way more dialed in. So last night when we recorded from 7 to 8. And I knew we were recording late last night. Mm-hmm. So I ate dinner. I had an hour in between calls. I ate dinner then.
Lunch, but yeah.
No, dinner. Dinner for me. 4 to 5 is dinner.
Oh, word.
Right? Because I knew that when we finished at whatever time, if I eat and then I try to go to bed, it always fucks my sleep up.
Nice.
Always, always, always. So that, to me, that is an example of, I know one way for me to get burnt out is not get enough sleep, which I'm dealing with right now. But one way to make sure, or at least increase the chances that I get good sleep, is to not eat a couple hours before I sleep, especially when I'm only having one meal a day. So I'm firing down a cup of rice and 10 ounces of meat and whatever else I'm having. Not ideal to eat that right before you go to bed. For me, it just doesn't work. So I think that's a piece of it too, is how do you proactively, just the understanding of how all things connect, I think that would be my next level lesson for this episode.
I know we got to jump back in the day if you heard an episode like this, would you say, what's the point?
Yeah, for sure. Fuck that. Sounds terrible.
That? Okay. What I would say to that younger Kev is you're not going to be successful.
I do think this is one of the reasons that success is not as desired as people think. And we're going to talk about that in next episode. But
I can't have a higher quality life. It's almost like you can't have a higher quality of life unless you have higher quality effectiveness. Well,
I think most people want higher quality and higher quantity. And you don't really get both.
No.
Eventually you can. I mean, you do this 25 years. In 25 years, if I can't have a higher quality and quantity...
Yeah, no, you will. For sure. It'll always be higher quality and quantity to some extent.
I don't know. I think the quantity, if anything, you work more than you ever have. I work more than I ever have.
Yeah, but see, this is why this is so messed up. This doesn't work. We're building a future. We're building a company.
I know.
That doesn't have to be the way it is for everyone. It's like it is what we have to do mathematically to build a. But I don't want to say this because I'm scared, but I have to now because I'm going to lose self-respect if I don't. Kevin and I want to build a future billion-dollar company.
That is the goal.
So we have to.
Yes, and
mathematically,
you most likely are going to have to for some season at least. You're going to have to do it for the first year, or you're going to have to do it for the first however long.
It's work hard, then work smarter.
Yeah.
Then work hard, then work smarter, then work hard, then work smarter. I do think everyone's going to have to max out. But eventually you and I, like when I have children, I'm not going to be able to do 11 to 8 every day. I'll have to do noon to 7 or something. Right?
What do I do? I'll do 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard once on Wednesdays.
Absolutely not. You'll have to work more. You know I'm fucking with you. But
no, you're probably not.
I'll have the mornings and the evenings with the kids. But I'm gonna definitely do at least noon to 7 or noon to 6, worst case scenario. But that has to be by then. Hopefully, we have enough demand to where it can be more higher. It's going to be higher quality because you have more demand. In the beginning of business, no one knows you, no one cares.
Yeah. Well, those are the hard yards. I think it's always hard yards, really, but those are the hard yards because nobody knows and nobody cares. Mm-hmm. Now the hard yards are a lot of people know and a lot of people care. Great. It's a better problem to have, for sure.
I have a new goal on this podcast.
Yeah.
Convince old Kev.
I don't know.
Convince old Kev. I think we can convince.
I don't think you can because the consciousness I had, I was not willing to trade in. How long did it take me to trade in a lot of the things that I traded in? Could we speed that up? Yeah, but I'm not going to go from where I was to where I am. No way.
But if old Kev heard from this Kev and this Kev was assertive and said, I know.
But this Kev would be...
Why do you work so much?
But I would be honest.
He'd say, but my life's way better than yours.
Yeah, it is, but I also have way less time to enjoy that.
That's true.
It is. That is 100% true.
You have all the time to enjoy it. This is super fucking enjoyable right now.
Well, this is enjoyable, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
It's just, that is what I would give to old Kevin, honestly. Of like, it's awesome, and you have way more opportunity, and things are great. And... you're also going to have to be extremely disciplined with your time because the second you start fucking off,
I know,
investing all your time into fun, that you're going to lose all the momentum you've built. It's an equation that you always have to have your finger on. And I think it's really easy to lose sight of the equation. All right. What's your next level lesson? We got to get out of here. Mother Goose.
My next level lesson is if you want a higher quality life, you have to have higher quality effectiveness on the day to day. And productivity, Kevin made the sunflower analogy. You plant a sunflower and it grows, and then you take some of the seeds to replant new sunflowers. Now you go from 1 sunflower to 10 next season, then 10 to 20, then 20 to 40, 40 to 80, and eventually you have a sunflower company. But you can't eat all the seeds. You got to reinvest, and
you
think
can eat really more each time. But
exactly.
In the beginning, you kind of give them all back.
And that's how money works. That's how everything works. And I don't think we were ever taught it. It's unfortunate.
I was taught how to balance a checkbook, and that has essentially become fucking useless. So, unfortunately, I didn't learn anything from
100%.
that. All right, Next Level Nation, if you are looking
What's your next level lesson?
All right, I gave several of them. I would say if you have to be very honest about whether the quality and quantity of your life and the time you have available is going to increase. I think it's a very dangerous game to assume it's like one affects the other so much. It's okay. I'm dieting. Could I download a book that is all about macro-friendly recipes and blah, blah, blah? Yes, I could. Is that ever going to be as good as the Cheesecake Factory? Fuck no, it's not. It's good because I'm dieting. No, it's probably not a meal you're going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I can't wait to have this thing that I ate when I was dieting. It's good because of the circumstances. I think it's the same with this.
Nice.
This is what I'm saying. All right, cool. All right, Next Level Nation, if you want to balance your checkbook, we have the Next Level Dreamliner. You can do it right in this bad, Larry. No. If you're looking to build a habit of journaling and retrospection, we have the Dreamliner. It'll take you like 5 minutes a day. I did it today. It took me maybe 3. So it's a really good way to sustainably build in this new habit, especially if it's something that you've fallen off track on or you're trying to get on track for the first time.
I just realized that we had a monthly meetup last night.
Didn't even talk about it.
I don't have the other one chosen. 18 people attended. Thank you all so much. It was awesome. I'm going to pick our next one next time, and I'm going to have a link available. But it won't be on the next episode. It'll be 4 episodes from now.
Perfect.
That was the worst promotion I think I've ever done in my entire life.
Some things you're better off not saying. That was an example of that.
If you want to join our next meetup, DM me, seriously, name and email, and I will make sure that you get registered to the next one.
And it might be good. It'll probably be good. Dealer's choice, mystery box. Could be anything.
Fire, man.
It's going to be fire,
Those
man.
trainings are legit now that Kevin's not there.
Yeah, I'm not invited. That's the thing. If you want to go, I'm not there anymore, so you can talk all the shit you want about me, and I'll be behind the scenes grinding my face off. All right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.